Have you ever felt like your amazing TPT products are sitting on the virtual shelves collecting dust? You've poured hours into creating the perfect product, but it's not selling the way that you thought it would? Here's the thing, it might not be the actual product that you created, but it might be the title of your product or the description. Today I'm going to share with you my top tips for writing product descriptions that will sell and convert your loyal fans into repeat customers. The small tweaks I'm going to share with you will make a difference between clicking add to cart and then passing on by. So grab a notebook because you're going to want to jot down everything I have to say. And be sure to stay till the end because I have some bonus tips on how you can make extra sales. Hey teacher friend, welcome back to my channel. I'm Molly and we're going to dive in today on why your product descriptions matter and what you can do to write amazing product descriptions that actually convert someone reading them to a buyer. So why do product descriptions matter so much? We need to decide that first before I can convince you that you're going to go in and edit yours and how to do it. So it's the first thing that a buyer sees when they go to your store. Think about it like any pair of jeans that you're going to buy. You decide finally, today's the day I'm going to buy the pair of jeans that's worth 150 bucks, let's say, and I want to make sure it's made with the best quality items before I even put it in my cart. So the same is for your Teachers Pay Teachers store. We have to let our buyers know why they're going to want to buy something. Potential buyers are going to need their attention grabbed right away. They're going to need to see exactly what the resource is going to help them within their classroom. This is going to be key for them because if they can't tell right away that you're going to help solve their problem, then they're going to tap on by and not look any further into your store. The first way we do this though is by having a title that is going to catch their eye. It's like a headline that's going to lead into the sales pitch, which is what we're going to call your product description. Both need to be clear and engaging and have keywords that pop up. So you want to pop up in the search results on TPT because most of our sales are going to happen from the TPT search bar. You can go ahead and check your own sales dashboard and see where the majority of your sales are coming from. But in reflecting on my last year's sales, it looks like the dashboard tells me that most of mine are coming from the search bar, so I need to make sure I have sharp titles with those keywords that I want my store to be known for. These are also going to result in Google searches, so sometimes people will say, why does this really matter what I name the title of my product? It matters because it's a big search engine like Google that's going to direct that keyword to a product in your store if you've done it correctly. Okay, let's get an example going because I know if you're anything like me, you like to see something more hands-on. So imagine you're a teacher and you're looking for a resource on fractions. Are you more likely to click on something that says Math Worksheet Bundle? Okay, that's the first option. Or are you more likely to click on third grade fractions task cards, fun, engaging practice for mastering fractions? You can let me know in the comments below which one you would pick. I'm guessing you're going to go with option number 2. That's the one that would catch my eye. The first one didn't even tell me anything about fractions. The second one is grade level specific. Check, I need something for third grade. Task cards, great. I know what those are and I'm going to use them. It's fun and engaging and it's all about fractions, which is the problem that I have in my third grade classroom. Do you see the difference there? The second title speaks directly to the buyer, so they know exactly what they're going to get. So now that you know why this is more important, let's talk about how to actually write better titles. So I'm going to give you my top 3 golden rules for writing product titles that sell. Rule number 1, we're going to use keywords that teachers are actually searching for. So think about what teachers are going to go to the TPT search bar for. These are the exact terms that you want in your title. Before you're even creating a product, you need to sit down with the TPT search bar and do this step because how else will you know what people are searching for if you're not searching for it as well? So another example, like we used earlier though, a different one, instead of fun math activity, what if my title was 4th grade math escape room multiplication and division review? Tells me so much more. It is clear and tells me specificity of what I'm going to get. It's not just fun math activity. It's giving multiplication and division review for 4th grade, and I know I'm going to get a fun escape room activity. Awesome. My second golden rule for naming your products is we want to be clear and specific. Your title should tell buyers exactly what they're going to buy, what's included, like the one I just said before, grade level, subject, type of resource. Another example, if I was going to give a new title for classroom activities, what does that tell me? Classroom activities. There's activities for everything in your classroom. But what if I was trying to create a morning meeting activity for elementary students? That is even more specific. What if I am targeting 2nd grade? Morning meeting activities for 2nd grade students. Even better. Specificity is going to help teachers quickly decide if the product is for them or not. All right, my third rule for titles is keep it concise. While you want to be descriptive, you do not want to overload your title with too many words. Sometimes this is called keyword stuffing, and that just means you're taking like every single keyword and you're just trying to stuff it in the title. It sounds exactly like what it is. You want to stick to the most important details while not overstuffing, and it can be kind of a delicate balance, and you'll know you have this right whenever you get sales on a product repetitively. That's a really good indicator, and you can go in and track on the dashboard where those sales are coming from, and then you will have a breadcrumb trail telling you, okay, this worked. Okay, let's get another example because I love giving examples, and if you're visual like me, it's nice to just see what I'm talking about. Okay, so here's a generic title, Science Unit. Does that tell us grade level? Does it tell us what in science? I mean, science is a really broad term, right? So how could we upgrade this? I want you to think about that, and then if it's grade level specific for you, how would you change it? So an example could be 5th grade science unit, hands-on activities for weather and climate. Okay, now I've decided the unit, it's weather and climate. I know it's going to be hands-on activities, and I know my grade level is 5th grade. Clear, specific, and keyword rich. That's the key. Now that we've nailed down the titles, let's move on to the descriptions. Your description is where you're going to really sell your product. So let's break that down. The first thing you're going to do, start with a hook. The first sentence should grab the buyer's attention, highlight the problem your resource solves. You hear me say that a lot. If you watch any of my YouTube videos on TPT where we're getting into the nitty-gritty of things, it really does get down to that. So again, with an example, let's say that you are writing a product description for math. Are your students struggling to stay engaged during math lessons? Ask them the question. This 3rd grade fractions task card set is the solution you've been looking for. All right, next we want to talk about the formatting a little bit using bullet points. Teachers are busy, so make your descriptions scannable, like with eyes, using bullet points to outline key features. So you could say includes 20 colorful task cards, aligned to 3rd grade Common Core standards, perfect for small groups, centers, or independent practice. That would be a great one, by the way. And then third, we want to paint a picture. So we want to help the buyer visualize how this resource is going to transform their own classroom. This is why using your own resources in your classroom is such a next level thing, because you have used it and you know, and so your storytelling will take on a whole other depth that it might not. Now, I'm not saying you can't create resources of things you're never planning on using, but it really does become next level when you're using them in your own classroom. Okay, so an example, imagine your students confidently solving fraction problems while having fun with engaging hands-on activities. This resource makes math exciting and stress-free for both students and teachers. So that's how you can definitely pull them in, visualize how they're going to use it. You would show them inside of your preview how you're using it inside of your own classroom. I love doing that personally. And then you're going to want to end with a CTA, or a call to action. So we want to encourage the buyer to take action. We're going to use phrases like, add this must-have resource to your cart today. Perfect for the upcoming fraction unit. Grab it now and save time planning. That's telling the teacher exactly the outcome they're going to get. Saving time planning is huge. We've covered the do's, but what about the don'ts? And you could say something like that as well on how to use the product. We've talked about the titles and the descriptions. Let's avoid some common mistakes. I don't want to see you make these mistakes, so let's make sure we're not doing them. So one I mentioned a little bit before, keyword stuffing. We don't want to overload the title title and the description with keywords, making it hard to read, a balance is truly key. And the second thing we want to avoid is being too vague. Remember with the title that was math activities, that doesn't tell the buyer very much. So vague is not going to get you people putting things in their cart. And we don't want to skip the problem altogether. We want the problem solution angle. We want to always explain that this resource helps teachers, it saves time, it engages students, and it's going to help achieve a specific goal. And we have to be crystal clear on that in our product description so that our buyer knows and they can visualize themselves actually using this product. And there's ways for you to do that using social media as well, showing it in your own classroom. And there's so many sellers that do a great job of this. And I would encourage you to start that process as well. At any point in this video, if you're like, shoot, I don't even know where I am on my Teachers Pay Teachers journey. Like, I love everything that I'm saying right now, but I just feel kind of lost. Like, what are my next best steps? I totally relate to that. I think Teachers Pay Teachers can be totally overwhelming. And so what I did for you was create a free quiz where you can actually figure out by taking 5 minutes or less to just see where you are on your journey and what your next best steps are. And I'll leave that in the description box below. And you can go ahead and take that just like a 17 magazine quiz and figure out where you are in your next best steps in your journey. Okay, I promised to give you some bonus tips at the end. I don't want to leave you hanging. So hopefully you took good notes on this video. You can always go back and rewatch it, especially when you're sitting down to write your product descriptions. I would encourage you to do that. So some bonus tips to increase your sales. We want to update older listings. I recently got a question on social media and they said, if a product is selling really well, why in the world would I want to update it? And facepalm emoji, there's always things that you can update. It doesn't mean you're changing it. It just means that you're updating and changing with the times. TPT is not like a set it and forget it type system. It's definitely something that you're going to have to update and have systems and processes for. And if that kind of confuses you on what I mean, I just mean that you can go back and have like a spreadsheet, let's say, where you update products systematically so that they are up to date with the times, because you might have created something 5 years ago and it's still selling well, but that doesn't mean there's not like a mistake in it somewhere, or you need to change a date on something. So there's always things you can fix and make better. Another thing that you can do to increase your sales is use previews. We really want to reinforce what's written in the description and have buyers feeling confident. And this is where you could include how you use it in your own classroom. And I would really encourage you to do that. And of course, you always want to keep testing. If a product isn't selling well, experiment with different titles and descriptions and just view it as gamifying it. You know, what can you do to make this sell? You know it's a great product, but it's not selling. It's likely because your preview sucks, or you don't have a product description that tells the buyer what they need, or your keywords are just not there. So you can fix that. And a lot of times it's just something you have to tweak and experiment around with. All right, so we've gone through how to update those product listings, write them so that you are confident and your buyer's confident in what they're buying. The description is gonna be great. You're using keywords, and it's your turn. So I want you to go back through all your products that you already have posted and figure out what it is that's not making them sell using this video as your guide. And let me know in the comments below when you make a sale after that. I've worked with buyers before who have tweaked things just based on that search engine optimization and had a sale that day. How inspiring is that? For me, it's all about a little bit of Cha-Ching as a motivator. And once you get that, you will be hooked. Of course, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what other tips you'd like to have on TPT. I go in so much more depth inside of From Zero to Cha-Ching. So if you're wanting more help with the keyword research, or you're wanting to level up and do blogging, the course is self-paced and waiting for you. You could spend just an hour a day or a week even updating these parts of your store that likely are holes that you just didn't know needed to be patched by taking the course and systematically fixing those things. So I'll leave that in the description box below. And of course, don't forget to check out that free quiz, which will tell you what your next best step is inside of your TPT store. Sometimes we just need somebody to zoom out on what we're currently working on and tell us, okay, this is what I think you should do next. And I know the quiz will give you the clarity that you need. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.